Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. We know that helping your clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves isn't just about what they eat or coming to the gym a few hours a week. We, as gym owners and coaches, have to focus on a holistic approach, looking at support systems, stress management, sleep, mindset, lifestyle, and of course, exercise and nutrition. I'm your host, Nicole Aucoin, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching, CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to make one step at a time to becoming the best nutrition coach and building an awesome habit-based coaching program. All right, let's talk about today's podcast episode. Usually every year we do a State of the Union. So today I'm going to recap what that State of the Union is about, where we went this year in 2022 with HSN Mentoring and where we are headed in 2023. So excited about this podcast episode because at the end, you are going to have a fire hose of information from one of my favorite authors, Jon Acuff. He's the author of Soundtracks, which is a book talking about how to overcome overthinking. And in this fire hose question and answer with Jon, we talk about how to overcome overthinking as a coach, imposter syndrome, what is the difference between optimism and blind optimism, and how to just be a better coach where you make a greater impact in your community. The truth is, we actually had a longer interview on the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. And if you haven't checked that out, go over to that podcast, subscribe so that you can check out that longer interview with Jon Acuff. This one, again, is talking about overcoming overthinking and all about goal setting in the new year. So let's dive into the State of the Union. First and foremost, one of the things that we did at HSN Mentoring this year is we implemented a system to capture NPS scores, Net Promoter Scores. I am a true believer in getting feedback and constantly growing our program and hearing what are we doing really well and what are the areas that we need to improve on to become a better service for gym owners and coaches. And I'm super proud to say our NPS score. But before I do, I want to explain how it works. So NPS is a number score that comes from a one-question survey. How likely would you be to recommend X company? I'm sure you've seen different companies that you've worked with in the past send a one-question survey out. It ranks you, it has numbers 0 to 10, and you just pop in a bubble what number it is. Well, the scores go from negative 100 to positive 100. So a 200 meter or 200 number time span there for what your score is. A good score, a really great score is above 70. So companies like Starbucks that have super loyal customers, 70 is around what they would be at, and that's a really good score. Well, HSN has an NPS score of over 80. Currently, right now, today, it is 82, which means we have a lot of customers that really love us, gym owners and coaches. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for trusting us to help you. Man, we've been busy this year at HSN Mentoring. We had over 2,200 mentoring calls, which as of today, when I'm recording this podcast, we have about 2 weeks left in the year, which is super exciting. We've done over 200 coach evaluations. Now, nutrition coach evaluations are something that not a lot of gym owners do. And I think it's really important to ensure that you're delivering a consistent experience and the professional service that you want to deliver as a gym owner, as a nutrition coach. We do coach evaluations annually, and every single new gym coming on board, that's the last step of the training. So you have to pass a coach evaluation to start coaching clients. So over 200, Kayla Pollock is the person that heads that up. Man, she has been busy doing those coach evaluations, which is really, really awesome. Some of the other things that have really stood out to me is, number one, the average price for nutrition coaching has gone up. Gym owners, coaches are feeling really confident charging more for the premium service that they're delivering.
The average nutrition client for the first year when working with clients, which the average length of engagement is a year now, which is really exciting as well. The lower tier average amount that nutrition clients are paying coaches is about $1,700, breaking down to an additional $141 per month. For higher accountability, so more touch points with the coach, typically nutrition only clients are those clients that, need a little bit of extra hand holding. The average year, how much they're paying for that service is around $2,900, averaging $241 per month. Pretty exciting. Not only are you providing an exceptional service, helping clients see better results, but you're adding a really good revenue stream to your business when adding nutrition coaching. Length of engagement, as I mentioned, increased this year for coaches, going on average 12 months. Clients are staying around for nutrition. For our longer standing and expert nutrition coaches, 18 months is the average for those guys, the ones that are really focusing on a holistic approach, the ones that are coming to mentoring calls and engaging, role playing. Speaking of role playing, this has been a big part, a big addition that we have been focusing on a lot to help coaches feel really confident. All right, I want to talk about one of the things that we do to set the vision for the year every single year. It's called the Big Three. And this comes from one of my mentors, Michael Hyatt. Last year, well, really at the end of 2021, we set the Big Three going into 2022. And it was 3 big initiatives that all of our stuff, all of the things that we were doing were focused around. The first one, creating intentional opportunities to deepen connection. And man, there is something so powerful about getting people who have invested their lives into helping people get healthy together. We always learn from each other, leave inspired, and it is so much fun. When I asked the team what were some of their biggest bright spots for the year, our staff, they said, hey, this one was some of our biggest bright spots, getting together, getting in person, connecting. The truth is, our mentoring team met for the first time in person this year. We hadn't met a lot of those people in person because we're spread out all over the world, which was really, really fun. Some of those specific initiatives that we did were the Owners Mastermind Project. This is a once a month owners only meeting where all gym owners that run our program come together for a Zoom call to talk about what's working well, what's not, and just give some support to each other so that we all can help each other, because we know that if we're all working together, we're going to be able to impact more people and learn from each other's mistakes. Another intentional opportunity to deepen connection that we did was the live workshop. This event was incredible. We had so much fun in Nashville. In fact, it was so awesome. The feedback was so positive that we actually set up from a 1.5-day event to a 2.5-day event that will take place July 13th to the 15th in Nashville again in 2023. We're so excited about this event. Gym owners left again inspired and just ready to conquer the rest of the year. The HSN tour was another thing that we did. We went on the road with our media team to capture some amazing stories, and I'll go into that in a few minutes. We've also done a lot of stuff with Tim Arnold, and we plan to do more. He's a leadership expert and has done a lot of stuff with our team internally to help develop all of our leadership skills so that we can better support the coaches and gym owners that we work with. And we plan to do some really cool initiatives into 2023 with him as well. All right. So intentional opportunities was number 1 on our Big Three list. We checked it off and we are loving all of this, going to continue to do that in 2023. The next thing that we talked about is creating stories, capturing stories of gym owners and coaches who are truly transforming lives. We hit the road and we went to Texas. We went to Atlanta, talked to a few gyms there. We went to Houston in Texas and Austin, and we brought the media team and went to some really incredible gyms. We captured gym owner stories, coaches stories, client stories. Over 30 stories we captured with the media team, and man, are they incredible. We'll be sharing those on social media. So make sure that you follow us at Healthy Steps Nutrition and HSN Mentoring. So those stories, we plan to continue to do that into 2023 as well. The last piece of the puzzle came down to coach development, really focusing on providing more support for coaches around this holistic framework. Healthy Steps Nutrition started as a nutrition company, but the truth is there's so much more that we need to do as coaches to support our clients in becoming the best versions of themselves, specifically around mental health, mindset, and also the combination between sleep and how it impacts your nutrition and your overall health, really how all of those pieces of the puzzle are influenced by nutrition, how they influence your nutrition decisions and ultimately impact your health. We released a brand new training, and we also partnered with Dr. Christina Migliara to give additional support, additional trainings, webinars, and she is coming out with a mental fit course late January, early February. We're super excited to release that to give gym owners and coaches more tools to help them prioritize mental health in your business. The research shows that there's a 25% increase in anxiety and depression, which means people that are walking in your door are struggling. And if you can equip yourself and your coaches with the tools to be able to address mental health and give them the resources, not saying you're becoming a therapist, but having more tools to support your clients and knowing where and when to refer out is going to make everyone feel really confident and make sure that your clients feel supported in their journeys. All right. So that was big picture, lots of initiatives. And at the end of the day, our goal is, number one, to set the business up for success. And number two, to help coaches feel really confident when supporting their clients to be able to provide the best experience possible. And those two lenses drive every single decision that we make at HSN Mentoring. So without further ado, I want to talk about where we are headed in 2023. I mentioned the intentional opportunities to deepen connection and community is something that we actually did on both sides. So at HSN HQ and HSN Mentoring, and we will continue. That is still one of our big initiatives for 2023. I want to talk about some of the exciting things that we have to do that are in place right now and more to be announced in the future. Number one, the OMP is here to stay, that owners only meeting for HSN Mentoring gym owners who are looking to connect with other gym owners, to learn, to give different tips that have worked really well for you so that we can all work together and make a greater impact in the community. So that is still an initiative that is here to stay. One new initiative that I'm really excited about is we do this annual event every single year. We're doing it in Nashville again, July 13th to the 15th. It is going to be so much fun. We will be releasing and announcing some of the speakers coming up on social media. Make sure you follow us at HSN Mentoring. But one of the cool things is I realized how much I personally just love these events. I love getting together with gym owners. Everyone leaves inspired and renewed and ready to go make a greater impact. So HSN Mentoring is hosting another one, a regional event. So a little bit smaller, 1-day event. And we're going to actually host it at our HQ location down in South Florida. So if you're listening to this and it's a little bit chilly where you are, come defrost with us in South Florida. This event is going to be March 25th. It is going to be 1 day packed with speakers and breakout sessions. The breakout sessions were always the most favored part of our events, where we have different roundtables and there's a moderator, a leader talking about a specific topic, but then you get to practice and apply that topic with other people in the room. It's really fun. So there's going to be 2 breakout sessions during this 1-day event. And of course, ending with some time to connect, some camaraderie, have a couple drinks, and just have fun. So we hope to see you at our regional event. If you have purchased the annual event ticket. So if you have already purchased your annual event ticket or you plan to, you actually can get a free ticket to the regional event. We want to see you in Nashville. We also would love to have an extra face-to-face time at the regional event in March. If you can't make the annual event, there are separate tickets for you if you're an HSN Mentoring client. and a push press client. We have partnered with Push Press to do our annual event, which we're super excited about. More details to release about that soon. So intentional opportunities, excited about that. Personal and professional development. Now, maybe you're listening to this and you're thinking, I've never really invested in developing myself as a leader, personally, professionally, haven't really sat down and thought about that or figured out who could be potential mentors to help me develop. There's a lot of different mentors that help you with your business, but who's developing you as a person? This is something that the reason why I hired Michael Hyatt back in 2018 to work with him and his team to mentor me is I realized, hey, if I'm going to take our business to the next level, I need to feel more confident as a leader. I need more tools in my toolbox. So same thing that we think is important for all of the gym owners and managers that are in our network. We have more events planned with Tim Arnold, which I'm super excited about. The first one is January 19th. If you're an HSN mentoring client, make sure you register for that. He's talking about having high levels of expectation and also high levels of grace. So what does that mean? Do you ever struggle giving feedback or having tough conversations? He has a proven framework that he taught our staff, our internal team during our staff retreat. And I'm so excited for him to teach the masses and gym owners. We are so excited about this event. If you have a ticket to the annual event, you are welcome to join if you're not an HSN mentoring client. But if you are an HSN mentoring client, come to that event. He's going to be talking, and then you're, of course, going to have breakout sessions too to apply this information to you. So Tim Arnold, super excited about that. There are more live events that we're going to be taking part of in 2023 as well. Now, the last initiative, what I realized is we have a mission here at Healthy Steps Nutrition to help 1 million people transform their health and their life through a simple habit-based approach so that they can prevent and reverse chronic disease. Now, I realize at our HQ location, we're not going to be able to help 1 million people. That's a lot of people. We're not going to be able to help all of those people just here at our small HQ location, which means we have to empower more coaches, more gym owners who have their boots on the ground to make their impact on their community. So what does that mean for this third initiative? Well, it means we need to get connected with more gym owners. We need to get connected with more coaches who align with our values, our core values, our mission, and figure out what companies we align with that we can work well and support their customers, their gym owners that work with them. Well, we have a really great partnership with Push Press. We've had it for years, plan on still working with them a lot in the future. Excited about that. We've recently partnered with SugarWOD to have a turnkey challenge in SugarWOD to make it super easy for non-HSN mentoring clients to be able to use the challenge, but most importantly, take a challenge to kickstart an ongoing coaching program. We announced that we're a part of the CrossFit APN now. We have an awesome partnership with CrossFit where we're going to have more opportunities to help affiliate owners. As a CrossFit gym owner and someone who's been a part of the community and involved in CrossFit Health for a while, I'm personally really excited about this initiative. And we've also done some stuff with NC Fit. We're currently helping NC Fit HQ locations right now build a nutrition program. I'm excited to do more stuff with Jason Kalipa in the future. So that is where we are headed, right? Intentional opportunities, personal and professional development, and then strengthen and expand the partnership so that we can serve more gym owners and coaches in this space so that you have the tools and you have the confidence to go make a greater impact through a habit-based coaching program in your own communities. That is where we're headed. We are so excited about it. Our team has never been more fired up about helping gym owners. People realize at the beginning of the year, that they need to take control of their health. There's renewed motivation around the new year. And I challenge you to think, what are you going to do to capitalize on that? How are you going to position yourself as the expert in your community so that people understand that you can help them transform their health and their life, their nutrition, fitness, and accountability? And if you're thinking right now, I don't really know, we would love the opportunity to help you. And if you are a part of HSN mentoring, let's go. Let's make a great impact in 2023 and beyond. Now, I have to preface the next part of this interview. I absolutely love Jon Acuff. He is a great author. This small excerpt is, we did a longer interview on Nutrition Made Simple, which will be out the first Wednesday of January. So make sure that you tune into that longer interview with Jon Acuff. It's really on the Nutrition Made Simple podcast is really client facing, right? So we started that podcast to highlight the clients that are in gyms, transforming their lives, to give practical tips to help people make health a way of life and draw them to gyms running our program so that they can get the individualized support they need. So that is a longer podcast episode. But of course, I had to do something for our gym owners and coaches. We talk in this upcoming interview about imposter syndrome and how to stay positive, how to work with clients that lose motivation, and so much more. Enjoy this interview with Jon Acuff, and please make sure that you don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review so that you don't miss another podcast episode again. We'll see you back here next week. Jon, welcome to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. We just recorded an episode for Nutrition Made Simple, but I want some specific help for gym owners and coaches. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. First question, all around imposter syndrome. People feel like they go through this training or they have such best hopes to help people, but then they're super nervous and they have this syndrome where they don't feel like they can help or they're qualified to help. What would you say to gym owners and coaches who feel like they have imposter syndrome?
Here's the thing. You don't get over imposter syndrome. You go through imposter syndrome. So over is a word of perfectionism, as if it's a wall you climb once and you're done, as if you go, I finish imposter syndrome. No, you go through it. You do the thing despite the imposter syndrome. So if you set yourself up as, I have to beat imposter syndrome, you will fail every day of your life because it's going to be there. David Sedaris, one of the best-selling satirists in the last 50 years, sold millions of copies of books, was just on 60 Minutes the other day, and he said, I feel like an imposter. He sold, like, what number of books does he have to sell to not feel like an imposter? It's not going to happen, but he still writes. He still goes. So if I was a gym owner, I wouldn't go, Nicole, as soon as I'm done with why is imposter syndrome still here? It's going to be there. Like, it's going to be there. So the thing I like to say is fear gets a voice, not a vote. It gets a voice. Like, when people say you can be fearless, they're lying to you. If you're fearless, you're not trying. If you're fearless, you're stuck. You're not trying new levels. When I spoke to 100 people the first time, I had 100 person size fear, but then I worked on it. I did it and I got over it. Then I had 200 person and then 300 person. When I spoke at GLS, there's 5,000 people in the room. There's 130,000 people watching online. That was new fear. It gets a voice, and fear is often trying to educate you and you can learn from it, but it doesn't get a vote. It doesn't get to sit at the table and go, you don't get to be a gym owner. Like, nope. So for me, that's the big difference, is that you don't get over fear or over imposter syndrome. You go through it.
I love it. All right. So gym owners and coaches who have clients who have, super excited, maybe things happen, they lose motivation and it's tough to re-engage them. Any tips you have for people that you're working with that might lose motivation?
Yeah. So one, expect it. So every time somebody loses motivation, you need to take a note. You need to go, when did it happen? Why did it happen? What did I learn? You should be learning. Every client is trying to educate you. And they're not, you're going to learn if you pay attention. So, okay, what really happened? And then the other thing is that people tend to be motivated in different ways. Some are going to be motivated by the number. Oh, I had a streak and you're going to need to help them with that. Some are motivated by the community and you need to go, hey, the community is missing you. Some are going to be motivated by the progress they see. So part of your job as a gym owner or a coach is, if you have that relationship, to understand what's their value system as far as motivation, and then how do you help them reignite it? If you tell an introvert that the community is missing them, they're like, good for them. Screw the community. I'm an introvert. That doesn't move the needle for them at all. If you tell an extrovert that, they're like, oh, you're right. I miss Gary and Mike and Patricia or whatever. Let's go. So you really have to, as a coach or as a gym owner, do your best to understand what motivates them, and then how do you help reignite that with the right thing.
I love that. What about for those clients, we recommend obviously Soundtracks. I think that's a really great book to help people overcome overthinking. The people that really struggle with finding the positive, right? So, I think for some people, like my daughter, something will happen. She's like, that's okay. Not a big deal. I'm like, she just is completely, totally fine with everything. son, not the same way. How do you handle those types of clients that naturally go to the negative pretty fast?
Yeah. So my friend Colleen Berry taught me this idea. She's in the first chapter of Soundtrack. She's amazing. Lost her job, became a receptionist, and she's now the CEO of the office she was a receptionist in, because she said, I'm going to change my mindset. You talk about somebody who was a baller. Took her like 15 years. So I'm not saying it's overnight, because things that are worth anything aren't overnight. But she told me one time, she's like, there's sometimes where people's steering just pulls hard left. Like everybody's wired differently. So your daughter has pretty straight down the middle of the road steering. I have a kid like that, where she's like, hey, like my wife is like that. My wife, Jenny, is very comfortable in her own skin. I have to work a lot harder to be comfortable in my own skin. I have to work a lot harder to be positive. So with a client, I would look at it as, okay, wow, their steering goes like it pulls to the left a lot. So I have to work really hard to help them bring it back on. And I might never, and I also can't judge their attitude based off super positive, because that's really unfair to them. You have to level set it of, okay, they tend to be negative. So how do I get them a little more positive? Not how do I turn them into a rainbow of sunshine? That's not fair to you. That's not fair to the client either. Like that's not their personality. So for me, you have to have a scorecard for them as an individual, not I'm frustrated they're not the most positive person. And then you have to work to get their steering back on the road. And it might be a different level of work than you do for somebody else who goes, all right, yeah, I missed my goal. I'll see you tomorrow. It'll be great. You might have to say, oh, they just got off the road. How do I get them back on?
No, I think you mentioned something a couple minutes ago, talking about figuring out what makes people tick. Like, what is the motivation behind it? Yeah. So, if we're talking about positive soundtracks, like let's figure out what would motivate them to start doing that on a consistent basis as even an experiment, just to see
and even going,
what
hey,
happen?
if sometimes what you have to do as a coach is repeat back to them what they said so they can hear it the first time. Often people don't even hear the things they're saying because they're so used to them. So as a coach, it's just called reflective listening, where you go, hey, I noticed every time you do this phrase comes out of your mouth. Like, did you know that? Like, were you aware of that? And you'll be amazed. A lot of times people are like, I didn't say that. And you're like, you did. You've said it this entire session. And they go, oh, and once they see it, and once you've helped them see it, like sometimes as a coach, you're a mirror and you mirror that back and they go, oh, now I can see it. Now I can work on it.
I love that. Final question, what is one tip that you have for business owners as they go into the new year? I'm sure there's hopefully have all set some goals. Hopefully they've all got a business plan of what they want to accomplish going into this year. What is one tip that you have for them?
Well, I'll give you two tips because I'm talkative. One, people say the devil's in the details. No, the diamonds are in the details. Like your ability to be detailed will pay dividends for years and years and years to come. I'm not a naturally detailed person. I have to work really hard at that. But the more detailed I am, the better my business is, the healthier my business is, the easier it is for employees to get on board and see where we're headed. And so the diamonds are in the details. That's the first thing I'd say. The second thing I'd say is that people are the point. People are the point. I had somebody tell me the other day, Laura Vanderkam, I have a podcast called All It Takes Is a Goal, and I interviewed her on that. And we were talking about how do you be high performing without rolling all over people? Just because you get in the zone. And she was like, one of her soundtracks is people are a good use of time. People are a good use of time. And so in CrossFit, your business is built off of human transformation. So humans matter. So it's so easy as a business owner to put all your focus on the other parts of the business because it's less messy. Like the numbers are less messy, the other stuff less messy, but people are the point. So I'd put a priority and some goals around people, not just growth, not just revenue, but how do you get really deliberate about people?
Perfect note to end on. I love that. John, thank you so much. We will put in the show notes all the links for people to find you and the link to the Nutrition Made Simple podcast, where we talked all about goals and how to achieve them and soundtracks. And oh my goodness, so many nuggets in there. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.